One of the big visions of our current Prime Minister is to make sure that we create new cities so that the pressure that we have on the existing cities of India gets less. But just by creating new cities, it's not going to solve any problems, and we've seen that in the past. On a second hand, we've been talking about a digitally connected India. By 2020, we have a vision that every Indian should be digitally connected. That's a big vision. It's a digital India vision, which the Honorable Minister also talked about today. Take it third, with the emphasis on participative governance. And fourth, on regional language, emphasis on regional language content. You combine these whole thinking processes and say how one of the new things that we should talk about, which is really waiting to happen in India, are smarter cities. Not smart cities, but smarter cities. And I think that's a very important thing. First of all, set a target for yourself, and can we join all these 4 or 5 things together, along with the fifth very important piece in this, which is the silo-based infrastructure that we've been creating for ages, and make our cities smarter. Make the new cities smarter, and set about an ambitious target of these 100 cities. Because if you don't set a target, there's no goal, you can't achieve anything. So a lot of us can debate whether 100 is achievable or not, but hey, we have given you a target. Most of the things, I should say, not only in smart cities, but a lot of things that we talked about in our manifesto. But this manifesto, you should read, because a lot of it has been actioned in the budget. You see a fine balance between what we talked about in the manifesto and what was announced in the budget. And in the specific area of the smart cities, allocation of about 7,000 plus crores for this fiscal. Mind you, this is a very important thing to note. Let's start spending, right? Now all of us have to get our act together, right? And all of us is the important part. Who are the all of us in this? It's the industry, it's the city administrators, and that's where it gets complicated. The multiplicity of jurisdiction in a city is amazing. And when we start doing this, the intent is to do process engineering of how our cities are run. And that's something that I think all of us should think about. And technology is an enabler, and technology is a binding factor that will bind everybody. But I think very important to understand that these smart cities projects will again become silos if 2 things don't happen. If process engineering for the cities don't happen, and if citizens are not empowered and digitally connected. So that's the big intent of creating these cities. Every city will have its own set of KPIs. No 2 cities will be same. But once you have a city set KPIs for a city, and cities start monitoring those KPIs, things happen. Management by exception happens. And you start governing cities in a slightly better manner and smarter manner. Resultant of this, the citizens, which should be the center of this design, the process design that we're talking about. Citizens have a better quality of life. Whether their commute becomes better, whether their electricity and water gets better, health becomes better, sanitation becomes better, education becomes better, all are resultant benefits of it. But very importantly, the processes need to be changed. Cities need to understand that they need to work, the city administrators need to understand they need to work together to make it happen. And I think the real intent behind the smarter cities is to make all this work in synergy so that we achieve something. Keeping that in mind, I think that's our thinking. And it's just not thinking. It's now been put into words, into a budget. And I think the next steps is implementation, which I think all of us need to work together. As industry, as public, as citizens of this country, of cities of this country, and as policy makers. So, thank you.